Hey guys, today we're going to be replacing the GPD MicroPC battery. So this is the problem I have with a lot of GPD devices, is that they always have some common defect or flaw, and this is not the first time I've had to do something to fix my GPD device. Okay, so yes, my GPD MicroPC, this small UMPC, I really like it and I really want to keep it. The problem is that there's a common flaw with this device, which is that the battery has an issue with the charging, right? So a lot of people online, if you look on Reddit and GPD forums and stuff like that, they have similar issues. Like the battery on this device, like oftentimes like it will just die on you, right? So like this one won't power on anymore. It only works if I'm charging it, if I'm plugged into the wall adapter. So, and that completely defeats the point of this being a portable device, right? You want the battery to actually work. So yeah, the battery doesn't work anymore. It doesn't hold a charge. And it died after approximately like 1 year, I think. And I think a lot of people probably experience something similar. Dies after 1 year, and then you can't charge the battery anymore. And yeah, you have to connect it to the wall in order to get it to work, which is totally inconvenient for something that's supposed to be this small and portable. And this is not the first time I've had to fix a GPD device. I actually had to fix my GPD Win 2 as well, because the display cable got twisted and tangled up, and the display no longer works. So that's also a common problem with GPD products. I find that a lot of them have their own flaws. So far, my GPD Win 3 seems fine, but I am concerned because of the history of GPD products having these kind of flaws. And GPD Pocket 3, which I backed as well, that's coming as well, and I hope that that doesn't have any flaws either, but we'll see. So yeah, with the GPD Win 2, what happens is, because this device, the way that the display cable is, it's kind of threaded through this hinge here, and if you keep repeatedly like opening and closing the hinge, then it's eventually going to tangle up some of that cable. Like it's going to become really tangled up, and it's going to basically mess it up, and then you won't have a proper display anymore. It won't display anything. And what happened to me is that it just gradually died over time. Like I would notice that it would only work when my display lid was really close to closing, and then after a while it just stopped working completely. So I had to get it replaced, and what I did was, you have to remove this top section here. After you remove this top section, you can just pry it off, and the display ribbon actually is connected in this top section here. You have to unconnect it, and then you have to unthread the display cable, disconnect the hinge, and unthread the display cable through the hinge. And then you have to take apart the device basically. So you have to go to the back, you have to remove the screws on the back, take out the SSD, take out the back cover. You have to also unscrew a few of the screws that's holding together the controller buttons here. So I think the L2, L1, L3 buttons, you have to unscrew all the screws holding those together, and then you unclip the display cable from there, and then you put in your new display cable. By the way, the GPD Win 2 display cable is not sold by GPD anymore. I contacted them, they don't sell it anymore. I have no idea why, when this is such a common problem for their Win 2 devices. They don't sell the Win 2 display cable, so where I had to buy it from was from this German shop, dragonbox.de. I can put the link in the description if you guys have the same issue. But basically I had to go to this German shop, dragonbox.de, which sells parts for a lot of UMPC devices. And by the way, they were the same company that makes the Open Pandora and the Dragonbox Pyra. So I bought the display cable from them. They were the only ones I can buy it from. I even looked on AliExpress and I couldn't find anything for the GPD Win 2 display cable. So I bought it from dragonbox.de, and that's where I got it. So I used the replacement cable, and you just take out the old one, you pop the new one in, and what you have to do, the annoying part is like now you have to thread the cable through the hinge again. So yeah, you have to install, basically you have to put in the new cable, you have to put all the parts back in, right? Put the back casing and all the buttons and controller buttons back on and everything. This part is, you have to really be careful because the screws are super tiny. And here's a picture of me holding up one of these screws. Like they're super tiny, so you got to be sure not to lose them. I think they're like the tiniest screws I ever had to work with. So yeah, once you put that all back together, you have to thread the new display cable in through the hinge, and you have to twist it in a special way. I had to watch an instructional YouTube video on this to help me, but you had to twist the the cable in a special way to thread it through the hinge again, and then you put it back through the original top cover here. And once I did that, it all started working again. But you know, that's the thing. It's like you shouldn't have to do something like this. This is such a widespread problem. If you look online, the display cable failing for the Win 2, the battery failing for the MicroPC. Like, I don't know what GPD's thinking. Like, if you're gonna make like a device, you know, like that's why with my One netbook devices, I never had any problems with my One netbook devices. I've used my Yoga 3 for almost like 2.5 years actually, and no problems there. And my One netbook A1 is also doing pretty well, no issues there. So far I haven't had any issues with my One netbook devices except for maybe the GX1, which I had. That was just for the controller mappings and stuff though. But the GPD devices, every one of my devices have had issues so far, except for the Win 3, which might be coming up because I heard the Win 3 also has its issues as well. Probably just because I haven't used my Win 3 all that much, but it has its issues too. And then the Pocket 3, which I hopefully, you know, is better. But so far, GPD hasn't had a good record so far with its devices. A lot of issues pop up within the first 1 or 2 years. So yeah, this issue popped up for me after maybe 2 years of owning the Win 2. So yeah, just 1 year later, my MicroPC, the battery stopped working, and now I have to get a replacement. And this time I got this replacement from AliExpress. I was able to find this on AliExpress, the replacement battery. So if you guys are looking for a cheap replacement, if you find these on eBay, they're actually expensive. They're around $100. But if you find it on AliExpress, you can get it for about half the price, about like $50. So for that price, I think it's fair because, you know, I still want to keep the MicroPC. I still think it's a cool computer and everything. Still want to keep it. So yeah, now I'm just going to remove these screws from the back casing. We're just going to replace the battery here, which is relatively a simple operation compared to replacing the display cable on the GPD Win 2. The Win 2, you had to really, yeah, you had to do a lot of stuff. You had to remove the front part of the lid there, then you had to unscrew you had to remove the hinge and remove the top part, and then you got to unscrew the back, and then you got to thread the display cable through the hinge and stuff like that. That's, yeah, really kind of annoying. The MicroPC, this replacement should be relatively simple. Just unpop the old battery, pop in the new one. But again, something that we shouldn't do, right? Shouldn't need to do. GPD actually designed their products properly. Like they knew they have these flaws with their devices and they don't honor the warranty on it and stuff. Like that's what, even though I backed the Pocket 3, I almost thought about not backing it because, yeah, like I would want to get the One Mix 4 because One netbook has a better track record, I think, of making more reliable devices. I would get the One Mix 4 if it was smaller. The thing about the Pocket 3 is that I like to have this nice trackpad from the MicroPC and these left and right click buttons, and I like this control layout better than One netbook's like optical track point thing. I don't like the optical track point thing. That's something that One netbook has stuck with for a very long time. But the MicroPC and GPD uses this layout, which they use for their Pocket 3 as well, a trackpad plus the left right click buttons, which I prefer, to an optical trackpad, plus it's smaller, it's 8 inches. The One Mix 4 is 10 inches, so it's a little bit big for me. So yeah, that's why I backed the Pocket 3. I'm gonna need a flathead to get this casing. Always with these back casings, you need to have some sort of, like, it took me forever to get the back casing of the GPD Win 2 off. Like, man, that was tough. MicroPC, hopefully it's not as difficult. By the way, with the Win 2, you really have to be careful when you open up the casing not to destroy the micro SD card reader. That's a very easy part to destroy when you open the casing up. Is there one more? No, I think that's all the screws, right? There's only 5. Looks like there's only 5. I don't see any more. It's relatively simple. The Win 2, you have to, like, you have these two, plus these two, and that one. So you have a total of, actually, in the SSD one, if you want to count that as well. So, yeah, you have 8 screws here on the Win 2. On the MicroPC, I think there's only 5 that I see so far. So yeah, some people like to use their fingernails or whatever. I just use my flathead and just go around the entire back case, and I was able to remove it and pop it off like this. So yeah, this takes a little bit of prying, and yeah, overall I don't think it's as bad as the Win 2. The Win 2 I really had to try pretty hard to get the back casing off, but this one took me maybe like less than 10 minutes maybe. But yeah, this is the back, and here is the problematic battery that the MicroPC has. So here it looks like, man, those screws are super tiny. Let me see if I can get, it's my tiniest. Get my tiniest one. Okay, let's see if this one works. So yeah, this is these are the screws I'm talking about, right? Like, you really, just look how tiny that is. It's microscopic, right? You really have to be careful of these. If you're on a carpet, man, I'm glad I'm on hardwood. But if you're doing this on carpet, Jesus, put this somewhere. Like, have like a cup or something you got to put this into. Do not put this on carpet. I'm okay since I'm on hardwood, and I'm not going to touch any of this. But yeah, if you're on carpet, definitely you have to use some sort of cup or plate to put those into. Okay, so I just got to pry that off, right? Okay, that is the connector right there, and I think it's just held in here by glue. Yeah, and I can see this is the SSD as well. The SSD is actually replaceable on the MicroPC. It's not as easy access as the Win 2 has it right here. It's very easy to access, but the MicroPC, yeah, this one, you can replace it for sure. It's right there. You have to open up the casing to do it though. I believe this is just stuck in here with glue. I don't think there's any other screws or anything holding it in. Come on. Come on, get out of there. Alright, glue is out. So this is my replacement one. So this is a bad battery, right? One thing is this two, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think you need to get an extra. Not sure how to get these two plates here. That's something, maybe I have to order that extra. I don't have that. See, I only have this one middle connector right here. I don't have these two holes for screwing it down. So that is kind of a problem, I think. Is this something I can take out, or is it something that's part of this? I think it's part of this cable. Can I take this out? Maybe I'm gonna take it off. Maybe I can just take it off and use this. Yeah, maybe I'll just take it off, and I'll use. Okay, I wonder if I can just do that. I can just take it off and I'll use that one. Maybe that's okay. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna put the new battery in. It has a 3M sticker. So this one goes in the same slot like this. Okay, only one place can go in. And then this connector is going to go here. By the way, for the ribbon cable for the GPD Win 2, it's a very similar connector to this. Yeah, they have this kind of small connector for the ribbon, and you just have to kind of line it up and press it down. Let's see. There we go. You hear a click, press it down, you hear the click. Alright, and now let's see if I can actually reuse this one from the other cable. So a plate connector here. This is just to help hold it down. That's all it's doing. My God, these are tiny. Microscopic. Okay, this up a bit. Okay. Okay, and I think that should do it. Now we're gonna test it, see if it boots up actually. I don't have to put the back case on right now. Just test it. Does it work? Ooh, look at that. Come on. Okay, let me charge it for a bit. Let me charge it for a bit. This battery isn't holding a charge yet. Oh wait, no, wait, it's working. Wow, it's working. Damn, I got it done. Okay, so before, like, yeah, the battery just wouldn't boot up at all, right? It wouldn't charge. It wouldn't. This computer just wouldn't boot up if you don't plug it in the mains power, right? So now it's, you got the fans working, right? See the fans working down here at the bottom. So yeah, it looks like that worked. All it took was a battery replacement, and now it runs on battery now. Yeah. Like before, it just wouldn't be able to boot up at all with the battery. No matter how long you charge it, the battery doesn't hold a charge, and it would not power up without being plugged in. And now, as you can see, I'm using it without plugging it in. So yeah, we can actually see how much of a charge this battery has. Oh, get out of the way. Okay, this has, yeah, 41%. So you can see the battery, 41% right now. Yep, that means it's successful, right? I successfully swapped out the battery, and now I'm seeing if it actually charges. The old one wouldn't even hold the charge, like it would not even charge. This one, let's see, 39%. Let's see if it actually can charge, right? Because this battery swap wouldn't mean a thing if it doesn't actually charge up again. I really would need it to charge up. So let's see if this indicator, if this percentage actually goes up. Look at this. Look at this. The battery charged. Look at that. It went up 40% now. So yeah, I guess we can call this a success then. The battery charges. It holds a charge. So yeah, this is a flaw that GPD should have fixed. They should have done a recall of the of the MicroPC and the Win 2 and fixed all these issues. But and the warranty should have been extended. But since their customer support sucks, and the way that they design their devices, obviously the design has flaws. Yeah, it's kind of sad that we kind of had to take it upon ourselves to kind of fix these issues. But there you go, $40 battery from AliExpress fixed it. So yeah, just like with the GPD Win 2 display cable, MicroPC battery, shouldn't have happened really, but I had to go through the trouble of doing this and fixing it. Yep, and then you have the fan working. Yeah, okay. All right, and that's it. That is the battery replacement. All I have to do is replace the shell on here. All right, so yeah, that's it. That's the GPD MicroPC, and now turns on. It holds a charge. So yeah, there it is, plugged in and charging now at 41%. It's going to take a while since this battery is still, still going to take a while. But anyways, yeah, that's the GPD MicroPC battery replacement. Again, something that I shouldn't have to do, but GPD, unfortunately, with a lot of their devices, they have design problems and flaws. But yeah, that's yet another computer I had to fix from GPD on top of the Win 2, replacing the display cable. The second GPD thing I had to fix. Yeah, I really hope that the Pocket 3, they don't make these kind of mistakes again with their designs, but who knows, maybe I'll have to end up fixing that one too, and my Win 3, who knows. And yeah, if it happens again, then I might not be a GPD customer anymore. I might just switch permanently to one netbook. So, we'll see.